All right, now we just have to wait for someone to come join us because it says we're live.
No good. Say something. Something.
Yeah. I'm not going to try typing and doing this at the same time because I know I make weird faces when I type. So that's not something anyone wants to see. And my head is directly in front of the map, the floor plan. That's okay. Hey, William! Thanks for joining. How's it going out there? Yes, you're first, my dear. Even though you can't spell it. So, how's the weather out west? I know, I'm going to make you do all the work. You have to type. Oh, no, it's not good.
Oh.
That's not good. Yeah. Rainy? Hey, Davey. So glad you could join.
Yeah, we had a good storm last night here. Knocked out power to half the county.
Yeah, we didn't know if we were going to have
the other half. So.
But we weren't sure if we were going to have anything. Yes, Davey is too. We're doing okay. Thank you, Dave, for asking. I hope you're doing well too. And William, even if the weather isn't cooperating. So we're just hoping that we're just waiting for a couple more people to show up before we actually say what's going on.
Well,
but
fall prep then.
Yeah. So we have a few plans for fall prep too. What are you guys doing? Oh. So when it's due? No way. That shop is closed. 2 is way more than enough. More than I could handle. Oh gosh.
We learned our lesson.
Yeah, we learned our lesson. We did it twice. We're done. We're trying to get them to leave the house. They don't want to do that. So.
But yeah, sort of a preamble. We have some things we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be setting up our check and run. We're going to be putting building like an enclosure.
Putting an end to the feral chickens running down the road.
And the fox that likes to sleep in our hay barn right between the 2 chicken coops.
Yeah.
So
a couple of mornings we caught him still sleeping there.
So and every morning we go out with the 22 now, but a couple of mornings that we didn't. Yeah, there he goes running past us.
Well, walking quickly, and then he just meanders up the driveway before we can get anything to take care of him. So, yeah, so we're going to be doing that and just getting the coops ready for winter. One of the things we have to do is close up some of our vents that we have. So
on the chicken coops, for airflow, because right now we got a little too much air flowing, and the chickens aren't really keen on it. At least it's warm.
Stayed up all night so you didn't miss this. It's not that early, is it, William? Only, 8 o'clock in the morning? 8, maybe 7? I don't know. I'm not that good at my time zones. So, yeah, another thing we want to try and get done. Yeah, like a pig stand. One of the things I want to get done also is my garlic bed, because we didn't plant garlic last year and I really missed it. So we want to get that in, get it ready. So. Sorry. Coop sounds good. Fox must have a bad night. Bad night. Yeah.
Whenever it rains really hard or whatever, he's in there. He's soaking wet. So I think he's more interested in a dry place as opposed to boxed lunch.
Yeah, because he actually sleeps inside, curled up inside one of the nesting boxes that we keep in our little hay barn area. So The chickens have decided they're not using it because it smells like wet dog now. Not that I blame them. So, saying we've got 3 viewers now.
Okay.
So I don't know who the third one is,
So,
but anyways, our big announcement is we're doing the first ever Eastern Ontario Homesteading Conference. And unfortunately, unless Davey and William feel like hopping on a plane, I don't know if you guys will come. I don't get missed there. Like twirl. Yeah, no,
Twirling.
honey, I got you. Some groaners you just have to kind of let slide.
But cute.
Cute. Yeah, I could hear it in your voice with that slight accent that you still have. So don't worry, I got it.
So back to the
yeah, the Homesteading Conference is going to be in April. Oh, okay, so it was a crap joke. Yeah. So the conference is going to be in April on the 25th. We have the Lanark and District Civitan Hall booked, which is actually in Lanark, Ontario, on Pine Grove Road, if anyone feels like Googling it. We are booking seminars, homesteading-based seminars. So we actually have a master carpenter who's a very good friend of ours. She's going to be doing a seminar there, and having a booth there as well. We're also going to have some booths, and not that you can really see it because it just looks like a giant white piece of paper because the pencil doesn't show up. But that's the floor plan, and that's what's already starting to get booked for which table some of our vendors are coming for.
Yes, and we also want to have the seminars for people who want to do either get started in homesteading or to help support homesteaders out here. You don't necessarily have to have a large plot of land to do it. You can homestead in the backyard. Some say, "Oh, that's not the definition of it," but if you're doing food prep and trying to provide for yourselves and that sort of thing, well, yeah, that does fall into the category of homesteading, whether it's urban or rural.
Yeah, as you know, as you two gents know, like Davey, you've got the urban homestead, you've got your quail, you've got the whole 9 yards. I've actually had someone tell me that I am not a homesteader because I only have chickens, and it's not it's I don't have the massive garden. Yes, Dave. It's on Facebook. I do have the Facebook page going for it. Eastern Ontario Homesteading Conference. It's got its own page that I've done. I am not technologically savvy like you gents are, so I do not know how to get the link onto a video and all that.
But we're working on it.
No, William, we don't need to conform to anyone's ideals, but we've had so many people.
Haven't yet.
Yeah, it never happened before. Why start now? I've had so many people say to me though that, oh, I love what you're doing. I'd like to homestead too someday when I have property, when I don't live in town, when I. So
we'd like to help encourage to take that step. And for those who are active in it or, support. Yeah. And depending on where you are, even in the county, the soil is different. The circumstances are different, but we can help support each other, even though it might not be exactly the same. And what might work for one person might not work for somebody else, but there's enough people all communicating, supporting, little bits of knowledge. Maybe we could find something that will work for everybody, or at least work for somebody.
Hi, Bill and Val. Thanks for joining us all the way from England. I brought the Kent Blue in, so it will be protected from bunnies and the nasty weather that's coming. My goal is to try and keep that going all winter long. So we'll see. Grow stuff, raise stuff, shove it in your car. Yes, yes. And enjoy it, yes. And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to encourage others to do. Those who have said that they'd like to start, and of course, everybody always uses the same day to start, and that's someday. And well, someday isn't on the calendar, so let's start today. Even if it's just learning one new skill, one new, pick a skill and start working on it. Oh, good. I'll get more seeds soon. Good. Thank you.
So anyways, that's what we're hoping for the 25th is to get something activated out here. The YouTube community is very supportive, and Marcy loves that. I do too. I'm sort of in the background all the time, but appreciate it. And but it's also nice to have some a physical body sometimes to look at. So there are a few other channels that will be at the event as well, and perhaps even speaking. So we're working.
I'm 90% sure I've got one young gentleman who's doing a small market garden, and Jason at Start from Seed did a phenomenal video on homestead minimalism, and so I really want him to talk about that. So we're still working on that one. Let's see. Sorry. You do what you can on what you've got on the land you've got, Dave, and you actually, the amount of food you produce on that little yard of yours is phenomenal. Like, seriously, if you were here, I'd want you talking about doing your Spudomatic, because that, I think, is quite good. And William, yes, my Kent Blue, it grew. It did produce a couple of seed pods. I am actually back up to 12 seeds from the couple of pods that I did get. And then I thought it had died off because of the heat. And then once the cooler weather came, it started coming back on. We got another flower on it. The bunny ate that flower, so I brought it in. So we're trying to really keep it going. But like so often I don't know what channels everybody follows, but I know I'm always hearing about throughout the States. This weekend is the Bakers Creek Heirloom Seed Expo. There's a gathering. Bub at Getting Started on Homesteading. He's at a gathering where they're doing a great big seed swap and potluck and everything else. And it's, there's the Great Appalachia Homesteading Conference, which Patera Marlowe at Appalachia's Homestead, she puts on. And throughout the States, you hear of all these gatherings happening where like-minded individuals are getting together and really pulling together and encouraging each other, and just that's the kind of thing I'd like to see up here, because we have our CD Sunday swaps and CD Saturday swaps, and they do have some seminars, but the seminars aren't advertised. No one ever has a clue who's speaking and what it's going to be about until you get there. And so I'm really hoping to have something a little more substantial here for everybody that they can just come to. So William had one Ne Plus Ultra. This is Jason, by the way.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, William. But you only had the one Ne Plus Ultra that grew. I actually got quite a few. I had 6 of the Ne Plus Ultra growing, and I do have a fair bit of
Aye.
A fair bit of seeds that I was able to save from that as well. So I'll have to start with a fresh lot for William. Yes. So yeah, so that's our big announcement, our big exciting thing. We do have vendors already booked, a few of them. Tell William. You guys, you're funny. So yeah, so what's going on with everybody else? How are you guys doing, Bill and Val? I loved your new shed. Very nice. They just put up a new shed.
Mm.
They got it for free.
Oh,
And
that's the best price.
Yeah. Except they had to rebuild it from scratch and take down the old one, and it was part of that.
Oh,
but
cool.
They did a really good job. Been up to the allotments. Yeah, they have 2 beautiful allotments.
Yes, I've seen.
Yes.
Huh.
I have dahlia envy. There's my dahlias. Those are the best I did, but your dahlias are great.
Yeah, they didn't survive the storm last night. Nor did a few maples on the other line.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of missed you, William. Missed your videos, missed the humor that comes with them. But I'll definitely be looking forward to more of your videos. And this is just water, not a beer. So I don't have any beer in the house right now, William. Can you believe that?
That's why the neighbors aren't visiting.
That's why nobody's coming over. Yes, just water. Yeah. We call out here beers referred to as Lanark currency. Yeah. You need something done, you just pull out a case of beer and neighbors show up and help, which is great.
Yeah, you can't afford to pay them, but a case of beer sure gets you a lot of things that they wouldn't want to get paid for.
You work for beer, yeah. I think the airfare coming over here might make it a little too expensive to have you come work just for beer. Otherwise, I'd say, sure, come on over. You can help us setting up with our stuff. But what all are you putting in your greenhouse, Dave? Hemi's at the door wanting in.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
No, Hemi is our big pup. Kind of crazy. It's not like get William to give you a beer. Yeah. Other side of the country. Otherwise, I'd say, sure. Live for beer. I'll be honest, I'm more of a wine person. I do enjoy my wine at night. My daughter, she knows me so well. She got me a coffee cup that says coffee until wine. So, yeah, I'm a whiner. No, it's called a vinophile. Our house is always quite dry, so I'm always sipping on water. Ale is not lager. I like India Pale Ale by Alexander Keith. That's one that I do enjoy. But I'm more of a, if we're doing a barbecue and it's really hot out, I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll have a beer. If we've been outside working really, on a project or something, it's like, okay, yeah, sure. But other than that, it doesn't always agree with me the best. So sometimes I find it's just better to just leave the beer.
I just sort of play the field. It depends on what I'm having. If it's a evening, I might have like a Guinness or a Black and Tan or something like that, a Kilkenny. With like a meal, Pilsner with like the sausages. Just either a nice lager or something like that when having a barbecue. So yeah, I just
Yes. We We know, William. You yes. um, Claytonia. Dave, you'll have to show that because I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, though I have heard of others growing it. I don't know where Ryan is. I really wish he had joined in because that would be a riot. That would be really good.
Yeah, depending. I've
Yeah.
had some I really enjoyed, and I've had some that I had to shave my tongue. I guess it depends on who makes it, but yeah, depending. Actually, my brother-in-law, he sort of mixes his own and makes it out of a couple of different brands. So it's his is pretty good too. So
Yeah, Bill and Val, you're right. He's probably at a market today or getting ready for a market. That man is so busy now. He hardly has time for us. But that's okay. The season's slowing down and then he'll be joining everyone again. And
well, our market's just winding down now too. So.
yeah, we only have, trying to look at the calendar, we've got
2 more weeks.
yeah, ours, the last week for our local farmers market is the Thanksgiving weekend, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, which is the second weekend in October.
You're doing two today. Oh wow.
Oh boy. Yeah, like he is one busy man. But I'm really proud of him because he's done a lot. He said he really wanted to do this and he has, despite all odds, he has really just, just gone for it and done it. Studying thing, will you be signed to? For the homesteading convention, there will be vendors there. It's going to be, someone may have some plant starts, but I don't sell my produce. Basically, we're just growing enough for us and the rabbits and the chickens right now. But
we haven't crossed that threshold.
I haven't crossed that threshold. I do sell. I give people eggs in exchange for a donation. So
clarifying for us personally, if we're going to grow our own for market.
Oh no, I'm not going to do the. I'm not going to grow for markets and stuff like that. No. Just, I find people are too picky, and the local markets are farmers markets are wanting too much. For the local ones, you have to belong to an association, to a group, and then you also have to pay for your table. And by the time you add that all in, and there's so many people who are already doing it, and such a limited crowd, I'm just not gonna
compete.
I'm not gonna compete because it's not worth it.
But already with our eggs, we have enough where we can use it to barter, to say thank you. Sometimes we don't sell eggs because, well, there's rules for that. But sometimes they give us a contribution and to go towards chicken feed, and we give them eggs in exchange. So
and I've even had someone, buy a bag of feed for us. Say, here, I'll take some eggs. And that's what they did in exchange. And that's perfectly fine because that really helps. Yes. And thank you for editing that comment. But yeah,
I know a few have expressed concern because we don't sell the eggs for the marketable price around here. We actually sell them for
$1.
trade them for
Trade
less.
them for less, yeah.
Oops.
I asked for a donation of $4. Everyone around here sells for
5 or 6.
for 5, yeah, between 5 and 6 now.
Yeah.
When we first moved out, everyone was charging $5 a dozen. Some are still charging $5 a dozen, and then there's quite a few that are changed. Okay, that are selling. A few of us that are selling, for 4. I saw one person sell for 3, and then I saw some other reviews. Some other people were posting about it, and they weren't happy with those eggs. So it's like, okay, well, some were saying cracked shells and stuff.
No,
So.
but we have good results, good response with our eggs. The vegetables and all that, our garden, if you've seen any of the videos, it's growing pains. We're working on it, getting bigger. We've got some produce off and enjoying it, but it's not enough to do anything.
Yeah. You enjoy your dinner, Bill and Val. Have a great evening. And thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for the support and participation.
Yes.
You get what you pay for. Yes, you
Yes,
do.
exactly, Dave. Exactly. I did have the quail and I tried to sell quail eggs out here, and that doesn't work.
We had people about an hour away who wanted them, and
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was working about halfway there, so when we were working on the same site doing some solar fields, we would make the exchange there. So, but
Not coil. So sorry, William. Quail. We tried to sell quail eggs, and it just wasn't working. A lot of people just find it too much work for the size of the egg.
If they knew the nutritional value of a quail egg, then they would put in the effort. But
yeah,
people, like everything in nature, is a little bit lazy. So
yeah, yeah. So, and now we still have 2 quail, 2 boys.
And they don't lay much.
They don't lay anything, but they have their little bachelor pad, and they still get to pick at bugs and stuff. I'll throw in a lump of dirt for them with some grass and stuff in it, and they go digging through that for their bugs. And actually, Jason figured out the mystery sunflowers that showed up in our front garden. Little dirt never hurt. Wonder where I've heard that before. But anyways, the mystery sunflowers that showed up in our front yard, he figured out that it was from when we had the quail eating the bugs and the ants as we were digging that one garden back in the spring.
Yeah, because we put the tractor out there and put the quail in it, and they go through and pick out all the grubs, and we had a little infestation of a few
We've got tons of them.
Of ants, and they would go through and pick everything out. So we brought them in as little mini excavators and gardeners, and that's what helped clear out a lot of the pests. And so we think that maybe some of their feed seed sprouted.
Yeah, because I had put in, just to get them started at the ground, we had put in a few seeds for them to start scratching around with. But well, we had 5 people join us. We've been going for almost half an hour.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'm glad you guys at least showed up. So yeah, you have a great day, William. You take care. Yeah, they are good workers. Yeah, just you're so handy, and just build a little crate that goes over each of your little raised beds that you can just plop it down onto and throw a couple of your guys in. But yeah, you guys take care. We're gonna we got some running that has to be done anyways. So we will talk to you all later, and we'll see you in other videos. I'll probably go and watch your videos now. Not that I haven't, but I think I'm behind on one of yours, Dave.
Anyways, take care.
Anyways, take
Thanks.
care.
And if you're out here in April, around the 25th,
Yeah.
stop in at Lanark and say
Come
hi.
visit. Bye.
Bye-bye.